we're going to hear from Nancy Creamer about the farm to institution and farm to childcare work that is happening in North Carolina. Nancy is a distinguished professor of sustainable agriculture and community-based food systems at NC State University and director of the Center for Environmental Farming Systems. CEFS works at the intersection of agriculture, local food systems, health, environment, and economic development.
So the title of my talk is Farm to Childcare and Why Bother? And I put it that way because already y'all are working in such a difficult, complicated thing. How do you get kids to eat healthier, like the food, want it for the rest of their lives, change their families and what they eat? Why should you add this other layer of complication onto that? And that would be procuring from local farmers. And I guess that's what I want to talk to you. I hope you come away with this as thinking about that, yes, you should bother, and that even with the extra layer of complication, it's important to do. So our center has been around for about 22 years now, and we're a partnership of the 2 land-grant universities in the state and the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and lots of nonprofit organizations. And over the years, our mission has changed from working on sustainable production systems to sustainable food systems, and our mission statement has added words like community and health and justice and equity. And we work from research all the way through local food systems development. We have a 2,000-acre facility where we do sustainable production systems research, but work statewide in various local food systems development. And a lot of that is around procurement strategies and how do you get local foods into other kinds of markets like institutions and grocery stores and universities. And so this will be expanding our work into childcare settings. We do a lot of work with youth. We run the Food Corps program and other kinds of youth activities. And we also work with a network of helping to build and develop a network of local food policy councils across the state, connecting them with the state. So what do we mean by farm to childcare? And of course it works in procurement and what kind of models will work for both communities and the farmers, but also it has to include a lot of different aspects that you folks are already working on to make it actually get the benefit that we want it to be. So it's not just procurement. So why bother? And I've just put these 3 things down. To me, one of the primary reasons to bother is taste. And I have a PhD in horticulture. I've been in vegetable production systems for a long time. And I can tell you that all the breeding work and developing of new varieties for the last 50 years have been around things like shippability, storability, uniformity, pest resistance. And so we have lost a lot of the tastes in our fruits and vegetables. So how are you going to get kids to eat carrots that taste like cardboard, peaches that are mealy, tomatoes that have no taste, cantaloupe that is crunchy? You can't. And so by working with our local producers who have the ability to raise varieties that don't need the shippability and storability and all those other qualities, you can bring back taste and flavor so kids actually like the food they're eating. And I think that's a really important piece. Nutrition can be tied along with that. There's studies that have shown that over the years we've lost nutrients in some of our fruits and vegetables with the varietal development. And then, of course, the experiential opportunities. People who play a role in their food system in some way do eat more fruits and vegetables. And so not only building in ways in which kids can grow food in childcare centers, but the whole community garden thing I think is very important. Back after World War II, our victory gardens, we had 20 million new gardens that produced 40% of our fruits and vegetables. So it can actually have a major impact. I'd love to see a modern day victory garden campaign develop across the country. And so these are the other things that you impact and why local food systems has really balloon, because you can impact health, economic development, job creation, vitality of rural communities, farmland preservation, farmer preservation, environmental quality, hunger access, racial equity. All of these groups working on those specific things have their own very energized cohorts. And so when you work on local food systems, you can bring all of those people working on this particular issue to the table and get lots of creativity and energy and enthusiasm, all aimed at the result of healthier kids. So this is, this doesn't have why it's hard for childcare centers. I think you all probably know the reasons it's hard there. But for communities and farmers, there are a lot of barriers as well. So it is complicated and it is difficult. And I put price as a barrier, both on the community side, but also on the farmer side. So we all want healthy food that people can afford, the child care centers can afford, but farmers also need to make a good living. The average age of farmers now is 58 in this country, and we have lost so many farmers. We cannot have better access to good food by squeezing out the rest of the farmers. It's really important in a time of climate change and a time to diversify our agriculture. So we have to come up with creative models to get more money into the system so we get both farmers and healthy food. Whoops. And so I guess this point is partnership is going to be key to that success. And this is just a graph of our partnerships, how they've expanded over time. And the work we're going to do in North Carolina is bringing together, there's been, as I've gotten involved and knowledgeable about what's been happening, there's just amazing work in early child care going on in North Carolina. I hope I grabbed all your logos off the web. I don't know if they're the right ones to use. And a lot of these folks are here today and giving workshops this afternoon. So we're going to overlay all the work that's been happening with all the work that's been happening in sustainable food system development. So the networks that exist through cooperative extension and other organizations, the food policy councils, to get them together with this wonderful network to try to look at different procurement models that work for everybody. It's a win-win, win-win-win. Anyway, that's all I have. Thank you.